Good morning, beautiful. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Period 2 Language Arts. It is Miss O'Sullivan, and even though I won't be here physically today, I'm here to make sure that you get started, know exactly what you need to do, and have a successful Thursday, even without me. As you know, we've been working this week on restarting our academic writing life, and we've really been focusing on a couple big ideas. How do we use our experiences to write? How do we write longer and longer? What do we know about ourselves in the writing process? And even how can some of this reflection help me improve upon myself as a writer? We kicked off the week with talking about language and how we can question language and push language and how important language is really just to our identity. Then we jumped in and we brainstormed. We hit the pre-writing phase of the process. We generated ideas. What are some important moments in our life? What are some important memories? What are some stories we would tell? Yesterday, after Mr. Philemon, we also tried to get us to think, what are some things we already know about writing? What are some strategies that we're going to lean back on again and again? The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to pick a topic that we want to write about. And one way we can do that is take ideas that we've already written down and organize them. I know that might sound a little crazy, but stick with me. Organizing is actually a great way to choose what to write about, because you can organize your ideas in a bunch of different ways. You can rank things, you can list them. So I want you to look back at your life map and think about the following as I show you my examples. Many of you brainstormed topics or subtopics. Not a whole lot of you had both. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to pause here, look at my examples, look at your life map, and think to yourself, okay, what are my topics and what are my subtopics? If you just wrote football, family, school, that's okay. But now we want you to come up with, underneath those bigger ideas, what are some specific stories? If you already brainstormed a whole bunch of subtopics, we want you to help yourself to think by looking at what the topics are. Might also help you look at, I really wrote a lot about travel and family. Maybe that's important to me. So take a minute, pause the video here, and look at your topics and subtopics. What do you need to add? I hope you actually paused the video. Now that you've organized into topics and subtopics, you have to start to think, well, what do I actually have interesting things to say about? So my first run through, I just went through and was honest. You know what? These are some okay ideas, but I just don't really have interesting things to say about them. So I just started crossing off things that I didn't really think would work. Also, honestly, some of these things I just wasn't in the mood to write. I wasn't in the mood to write anything sad. So I got rid of that one. So do a first run through where you just cross out things that right away you're like, nah, I'm not into that. So now I have it narrowed down to 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 ideas from my 12. But that's still not enough. I still need to keep narrowing down. So, okay, out of those, I need to continue to be honest with myself. What are some topics I've written about too much? My first time as a teacher at MMS, it's something I've written about too much, so I have to be honest. If we were to ask my 4th and 5th grade teacher, did Maureen write about that already? And they were to say yes, that's a problem, right? So I had to get rid of that one. I decided I wasn't in the mood for sad things. This was the last thing left under personal for me, and I decided it was too sad. I have tried things, that's what attempts at things means, like painting and gardening. I have some stories, but not a whole lot to say. So I decided it wasn't enough for me to say. So this is yet another run through to help me decide what topics I actually want to write about and what topics I just wrote down to get them on the paper to give myself some options. So it seems like I'm landing on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cooking pancakes with my Nana, silly stories with my work friends, attempting things. Now I went ahead and I did one more thing, right? Because we're going to flash draft today, meaning we're going to take our ideas and we're just going to write like crazy on paper and not, or virtually, I guess, and not care about any mistakes we make because we just want to get the story down. So I went one step further and said, okay, I can only start with one of these. So I ranked them. I had 3 left. I ranked them. 1, 2, 3. This is the one I think I can write the most about. It's the one I'm most interested in writing, and I've never written it before as a story. These are funny stories about like working here. I think they'd be good. Maybe if this one doesn't work out, I'm going to give this one a try. If I end up not liking either of those choices, I think I have some good stories about cooking and baking and some of my crazy experiences trying to keep sourdough this year. So just a real quick refresher, that's the first thing you're doing today. Organizing as a way to choose. You went through, did topics and subtopics. Then we started to think, what ideas do we just not have anything to say about or we don't want to write about? What have I written about too much? What don't I have enough to say about? And then we ranked them. Now we should be in a place where you have a topic picked and we can jump into flash drafting. And now that we have the topic we want to write about, that leads us into today's lesson, where we're going to flash draft our first entry. Flash drafts mean we write as much as we possibly can to get all our ideas out, and it's a super messy draft. It doesn't need to be perfect, nor am I looking for it to be, and nor should you stress yourself out about that. Literally, it's just getting ideas down. So your learning target today, and you see how I was being tricky, we've moved now in the writing process to drafting. Told you we were going to blow our way through it real quick. So today I can flash draft a true story about myself by writing for an extended period of time and focusing on just getting my ideas out, not perfection. Pretty please. So you have 2 options today for your flash draft. You can write in your digital notebook. You would not need to submit it. I can check it without you clicking submit. Or you could write in your paper notebook and take a picture to submit it for today's work. You can paste the picture into your digital journal. By the time you watched the video and remembered that you didn't have to log into class today, you should have about 30 minutes of writing time left. Please make sure that you complete today's work as it does count for your attendance today. Again, our goal is we are flash drafting, meaning we are writing for about 30 minutes based on the topic you chose. Okay, this is going to be about an 8-minute video. That still gives you 2 bonus minutes in between whatever you need to do to get set up to flash draft, and then you should be able to go. Good luck. I'll see you all tomorrow.